Hello students, welcome back to the Computer Science first year online classes. Dear students, yes of course we are here in Unit A, Fundamentals of Computers, and we are dealing with the chapter 2, Input, Output and Memory Devices. And this chapter already we have gone through the introduction to input devices, and we already discussed about keyboards, mouse, joysticks, and OMR, OCR, MICR. At the same time, even we have discussed about output devices, that is monitors, printers, and speakers. Today, in this session, let me deal with you about memory devices. Especially, I am going to discuss with you the primary memory devices. Yes, students, what is memory device? Why we need memory devices? How really it helps us? These all those things question comes when we think about computer. So let me make you clear. Memory is an essential part of the computer and it's a storage part of the computer. It's one of the important part in the computer. Why we need memory? The data, whatever you are using in the computer, you need next time, that has to be stored somewhere. Or you're inputting some data, it has to perform according to the instruction. The instruction has to be present in the computer. Where these data or instructions will be there, this will be present in the memory. If memory is there, we can access these data as well as instruction for the processing purpose. This is what my dear students, I am trying to say. The storage enables us to store the data to in future, so which we can make use of that data in the future time. There are two types of storage available in the computer that we call, first one is primary memory and the second one is the secondary memory, which very soon accessed by the processor, that is primary memory. And another name of this primary memory is volatile memory. Whereas for the future purpose, for the long term you are going to store, that is called secondary memory. At the same time, this is a non-volatile memory. Anyway, I'll discuss with you in detail, so that time it makes you more clear, right? Yeah. So I'm just keeping in front of you the hierarchy representation of memory devices. The computer memory, right? So that is classified into two groups, that is primary and secondary. In the primary, again we can divide into RAM and ROM. RAM means random access memory, ROM means read only memory. Whereas in the secondary memory we can group into hard disk drive, compact disk, digital versatile disk, Blu-ray disk, flash drive like pen, external devices, memory card, floppy disk, magnetic tapes like this. Students, let me keep it in front of you. How we measure the memory? For everything we measure. If you go to shop, you wanted to buy any grocery item, then they'll measure in the grams. So you wanted to ask 1 kg sugar, so then it's 1000 grams will be there. So this is the smallest unit in the weighing, you will see the gram, right? Then you will go to the kg, that's kilogram, then you go for quintal, then. So you might be, gone through that. So I'm not behind of that. So I want to tell you people, the memory and storage devices are measured in terms of bits and bytes. Okay. So what is bit? Which I had given you information in the last unit, but still, just I'll make you clear. A bit means a binary digit. Bit means a binary digit. A single digit is called bit. Now this chart makes you bit clear. Makes you clear. So normally this is represented by using a binary number system. That's the reason I have taken here 2 to the power and everything. So this will be more clear for you when I'll discuss in the chapter 3 with your paper. So that time you will have clear idea about that, why this is 2 to the power it is there. Students, 2 to the power 0 equal to how much? It's 1. 2 to the power 0 equal to 1. So 1, this is the answer comes, that's a bit. So either 0 or 1. So this is a binary digit. So that we will call it as a 1 bit. Got it? Now 2 to the power 2, how much comes? 2 to the power 2 equal to 4 bits. Now this is 4 bits, we'll call it as a 1 nibble. Yeah. 2 to the power 3 equal to how much? 2 to the power 3 equal to 8. Now 8 bits or 2 nibbles are called 1 byte. 8 bits or 2 nibble, we can collectively call it as a 1 byte. 2 to the power 10 equal to, that becomes 1024 bytes. So that we will call it as a 1 kilobyte, 1 KB, kilobyte. Again 2 to the power 20, that means 1024 kilobytes is equal to 1 megabyte, 1 MB. Similar way, 1024 megabyte, that is equivalent to 1 gigabyte, 1 GB. That is actually 2 to the power 30. The 2 to the power 40, that means 1024 gigabytes, 1024 GB. That becomes 1 terabyte or 1 TB. Today's all hard disk are there, 1 TB, 2 TB, 3 TB. So 1024 TBs if you put together, the terabytes if you put together, it equals to 1 petabyte. And 1024 petabytes if you put together, it becomes 1 exabyte. And 1024 exabytes if you put together, then 1 zettabyte. And 1024 zettabytes if you put together, you will get 1 yottabyte. And 1024 yottabytes if you put together, you will get 1 don't buy. So this is the way, my dear students, the memory will be measured. You already see in your mobile, what is a memory? What is the RAM capacity? You might be say 2 GB, 3 GB. What is your the secondary memory of your mobile? 16 GB, 32 GB, 128 GB. In case if you have laptop, what is your hard disk capacity? So that is all measured by, and this is the way, my dear students. So now you might be got clear idea. So just give me the answer, or you do the little bit calculation after the class. In 1 megabyte, how many kilobytes are there? In 1 megabyte, how many kilobytes are there? So 1 MB equal to how many KB? Okay. So anyway, that's all calculation. It's common sense. So I think all of you are understood how the memory storage devices are measured, right? Yeah. So just I'll make a move, and in the memory device, the first part I'll take you, that is a primary memory. Okay. A primary memory is the main memory of the computer. This will be used very frequently by the processor. That is the reason it is called main memory. Yeah. It stores the program and data which are currently needed by the CPU, that central processing unit. So primary memory normally what it holds, the immediately which data or instructions used by the CPU, that information holds, or that information will be present in the primary memory. The main memory comparatively much smaller than for the secondary memory because it's high cost. Normally what happens, the primary memory or a main memory in size it will be very small, because the memory to design it is high cost is there. See in your mobile, what is the RAM capacity? RAM is primary memory. What is secondary? Hard disk is there. Okay, that is secondary memory. The RAM capacity is always less. The hard disk capacity will be more. Yeah, so this is what the RAM to design. The cost will be high. The cost is high. That is the reason the main memory always smaller in size comparatively that of secondary memory. The CPU or a central processing unit communicates directly only with the main memory. It will not communicate directly with the secondary memory. So that's the reason in the computer the main memory will be plays biggest role. As CPU works at high speed, its matching memory must be very fast. So the computer performance very faster way when the memory, that is the main memory, if supplies the data as well as the instructions quickly, then the performance of the processor will be there very fast. Then the results what you guessed very quickly. So that's the reason in your computer the RAM is high, the speed will be high according to the processor. And even your mobile also you see the high RAM, they'll see the RAM size 2 GB RAM. If it is there, then performance is more than 1 GB. Got it? Yeah. Moving forward, so let me still give you still more information about primary memory. Only primary memory devices can provide matching speed to the CPU, and this is mainly categorized into two types. The first one is their RAM, and the second one is their ROM. RAM means random access memory, and the ROM means read only memory. So very simpler way to tell you. The RAM is frequently you can change it, whereas ROM is fixed data will be there. It will not change. Yeah. So still I'll make you clear by taking RAM, that is random access memory. Now random access memory is called the main memory of the computer. In the primary memory, the RAM is main memory than ROM. Okay, the RAM is main memory than ROM. This is really the main store and is the place where program gets stored temporarily. Temporary purposely, this memory will be used. As CPU performs or executes instructions one by one, no? The RAM easily holds that data. Tuck tuck, it gives one by one it gives. So that's the reason it's temporary. Once work is done, no. Once you go, so system is switched off, the RAM is get erased. RAM becomes kali. Nothing will be there. As soon as system gets switched on, and what actions supposed to be performed, no, those instructions will be command will be set in the RAM. And as CPU asks, I want by next instruction, no, this RAM will be spliced to the CPU. So this is what, when CPU runs a program, it fetches the program instructions from RAM and carries them out. As it executes, it goes out. So it is supplying one by one it's supplying. If the CPU needs to store the results and the calculation, it can store them in the RAM. The RAM, it will store the results, whatever performs, the results also will be there. As whatever data is required to perform, no, that will be the RAM, and after performing, that comes and sits in the RAM. When we switch off the computer, whatever is there in the RAM, it will get erased. As you will switch off the system, it is automatically clean. Till computer is switch on mode, till that time the data will be there in the RAM. That's the reason this is called volatile form of memory. The name of RAM is, one more name is there, volatile memory, because it is temporary. Till it is power is there, till that time that memory will be there. When power is not there, the memory will not be there. There are different types of RAMs are there. The first type is EDO RAM, extended data output random access memory. The second category is their SRAM, static random access memory. The third one is the DDR-RAM, double data rate random access memory. So these are the different types of memory. Okay. So let me give you the definition of these. EDO RAM means, as I told with you, okay, it will be used for the storing purpose as a CPU requires. So this is an electronic chip. So that improves the time to read from memory on faster microprocessors such as Intel Pentium. So it is very faster way in response to the microprocessor, especially the Intel maker processors. To just give an idea, I'll show you the picture how it is there. The next one is the static RAM, and this RAM is a type of semiconductor memory, and that uses bistable latching security. So here by latching security to store each bit, that latching security is to store each bit in the memory. And the term static, it is actually differentiate from a dynamic RAM. That is dynamic RAM. What happens? It's periodically refreshed, whereas a static RAM will not be done. So it will be remains. The data will be there remains. Even though it is not used for long period, the data will be there. That whereas dynamic RAM, no, when it is not used for a long time, no, automatically it will be sends out. So it creates a place for another data to come and sit. So this is what a different static RAM and dynamic RAM. Let me show you the picture. This is picture is about EDO RAM. So this is what it looks. Yeah. So this is what these are the ICs they have used, integrated circuits, which holds the information. Maybe it's like this is two slots will be there here. This is one slot and this is one more slot. Okay. And the data will be stored in these ICs. So this is what we are we are punching on the motherboard. Okay, motherboard, the printed circuit board, what we say. On that we are punching into that. So as soon as the system got switched on, this will be get activated and this will be directly communicated with the processor. When you people join to the college, in the practical period, please do ask with me or your teacher. They will show you how it works. The next one is there, as I said, the static one. So static is the looks, this is the way. So there are 3 slots will be there. 3 slots will be there. Okay. This is a smaller one, this is a little bigger, and this is half that will be there. The structure similar way, there are again here also ICs will be there. This is green color is there. This is printed circuit board, and on that these ICs will be placed, and this will be holds the data. This will keep for a long period data. The next type is their RAM is DDR. So this is actually called DDR SDRAM, or in short what we call DDR RAM. So DDR SDRAM stands for double data rate synchronous dynamic RAM. So this is a dynamic RAM. So static RAM is there. This is dynamic RAM. So in case if they say DDR RAM or DDR SDRAM, means it is both are one and same. So this is again here also there are 3 types of are there. DDR1, DDR2, DDR3 are there. Now this is one of the very fast memory, uses clock signal differently to transfer twice the data in the same time. So that which will be get first by the CPU, so that it supplies very immediately. So that performance will be there for the performance of CPU will be increases, and the measurement will be there in hertz. That this frequency will be measured by hertz. Your EDO will be works normally 66 megahertz, and your static RAM will be used 166 megahertz, whereas in DDR RAM, so DDR1 RAM will be used at 400 megahertz, whereas a DDR2 will be worked at 800 megahertz, and DDR3 1600 megahertz. So in reality, if you go for DDR3, it's a costly than DDR1 and 2. Okay, so let me show you the just figure. This is actually DDR1 SDRAM. Yeah, only 2 slots will be equivalent to 2 slots will be there. So what today's all the systems will be there DDR RAMs. So this is DDR2 RAM. This is about just to see here label in that they mention. So what is actually size will be there and another thing. Okay, and this is DDR3 RAM. Maybe may not be same style. Okay, this is company to company it may change, but the slot size should be same. The slot size will be there. No, this remains same. Okay, the IC or the other circuit on this board is there. No, that may be changes, but rest it will remain same. Yeah, this is about RAM. So let me move to the read-only memory, that is ROM. Now ROM stands for read-only memory. The information is here pre-recorded into the ROM chip at the manufacturing time. So what it means, this is also similar to RAM. But thing is what, random access memory, what happens there, keeping on the data will be changes. But here is not like that. While manufacturing itself, the instructions, whatever data is necessary, that will be stored in the while creating that device itself. So that's why this is called ROM. So once this has been written into the ROM chip, and it cannot be erased, only you can read it. And that is why the name is a read-only memory. When computer is switched off, the contents of the ROM will not be erased, whereas RAM will be erased. So this remains permanently, and that is the reason this is called non-volatile memory. The data, whatever is there in the ROM, it will be remain permanently, even though the computer is switched off. The reason, the ROM chip, when they design, that time itself, the instruction or necessary data, they will be, feeded in that. ROM stores critical programs such as the programs that boot the computer. So in this, normally what, computer to boot, computer get to switch on. So what and all instructions it's needed, when you just press the button, the first ROM will be get activated, and the ROM, whatever instructions are stored in the ROM, so those instructions will tell the system what you have to do. So that's the reason when you just press it, your monitor will get switch on, your mouse will be get detected, your keyboard will be get detected. If you are connected with the printer, if you're connected with the camera, if you're connected with anything other external peripheral, whatever devices are there, it will be get activated, and it will be visible in that computer. So this work will be done by the ROM. So going forward, there are different types of ROMs are there. The first one is the normal ROM, and that is this one. So this is a chip. Now in this chip, whatever instructions are there, it will be burnt into this itself. The instructions will be stored at the beginning in this itself. So that will be, makes use afterwards, only when reading. Yeah. The second type is the PROM, programmable ROM, what we say, programmable read-only memory. So this is normally comes for 1 mark. So these words they'll ask PROM stands for. Yeah. So programmable ROM, it is the data in this once the beginning only they'll write. That is this is picture. Okay, is there. And once that data will be stored in this, that you cannot update it, you cannot change it. But what is the difference between the with the normal ROM? What is the difference between the normal ROM? What I said, the instructions are burned during the manufacture time. The instructions feeded are burned in the manufacture time. Whereas programmable ROM, no, the instructions will be feeded by the programmer, not during the manufacture time. Once it is comes to the programmer's hand, when he sets the computer and everything, that time he will feed. Once it gets feeded, no, then it remains permanent. Got it? So normal ROM will be feeded at the time of manufacturing, and programmable ROM, no, the data will not be feeded at the manufacturing time, but the data will be feeded by the programmer at the time of assembly. So once it is done, no, then we cannot change it. That remains permanent. Got it? Yeah. The next one is the EPROM. EPROM stands for Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory. Now here, what do you know? This is designed in such a way that, as I told with you, PROM means what? The PROM is the instructions will be fed by the program. Now here, what do you know? If you reset the computer, that time we can erase the ROM and we can feed. Again we can feed. So that is possible by using ultraviolet light. To erase, they'll make use of ultraviolet light, whatever contents in the EPROM, and that they'll delete and they'll write new one. So that's possible when you're going for a resetting part and everything when they do. The one more is there, that is this is a picture of EPROM. The one more is there, EEPROM. So that means electrically erasable programmable ROM. Same as EPROM, but what they are doing here also, they are making use of ultraviolet to erase the content of the ROM, and this will be a little bit a type of flash memory. You heard about sometime if your mobile is not working properly or something happened. So what they'll do, they'll flash it. Okay. So electrically, we are supplying that charge will be there, exposing to the electrical light. We are erasing the contents of ROM, and then we are feeding whatever instructions needed, that we are feeding. See, sometimes what happens, your OS you are changing in your laptop. Okay. OS, when you change, that time that booting and everything part will be there, that has to be changed. So this is what happens, electrically we are erasing the contents and the new data we are putting in that. So this is what about read-only memory. Going here, and I'm showing you, this is a EEPROM. This is the way to be there. So you will find in the motherboard, this device is used. And if you see the motherboard, you will come to know what kind of ROM is used in that. Students, let me keep it in front of you. The difference between RAM and ROM. The first point we can take it as a difference is RAM stands for random access memory. ROM stands for read-only memory. This is what we can show as the first difference. The second difference we can show it in this is the way. RAM allows computer to read data quickly to run the application, and it allows reading and writing. Correct? So to do any program or any instruction to execute, no, it allows to read quickly. But whereas ROM stores the program required to initially boot the computer, it allows only reading. It will not allows to update or writing part. Third difference, RAM is a volatile, ROM is a non-volatile. RAM, as soon as the computer gets switched off, no contents will be get erased. ROM remains forever. Even though computer is not working, the contents will be there that present for the long period. The last difference is the different types of RAM. Okay, static RAM, dynamic RAM. Whereas ROM, we have PROM, we have EPROM, then we have EEPROM. So this is what you can present as a difference between RAM and ROM. With this, I'll conclude this session. So in this session, we have discussed about memory devices, that is especially the primary memory devices, what is the main memory, what and all different devices we are using, that about RAM and ROM, the different types of RAM and different types of ROM also. The next part, that is the secondary memory, we will see in the next session. Till then, take care, have a nice time. May God bless you.